Welcome back to episode 16 of the Intersint podcast. I think it's been a couple of weeks now. Kaneez, what are you made of?
What? I'm so lost. What?
What are you made of? You took a DNA test.
Oh.
It's been a few weeks now.
What
You
am
got
I
your
made
results.
of? Okay, yes, I did take a DNA test, and
Were we correct?
somewhat, yes. So it turns out like there's 97% South Asian, but then like
I think it's 98, right?
no, it's 97.
Oh.
97% South Asian, and then the remaining 3% was like East Asian, North Asian, so like a bit of Serbian and Russian. And I'm like, I did not expect that. Okay.
So 90% South Asian, just 100% Asian.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, I sort of thought that would be the case just because like there's not many people of like my genetic makeup who would like take something like this.
Oh, true. Yeah.
It's more like you'd hear more like white people are taking it because of like they want to know where in Europe they came from.
Yeah. I can see that.
And even like they said they don't really have much data on Asian ethnicities.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I found out what I'm made of.
Yeah, so I mean, not really much of a surprise. I guess that little bit of percentage of the other Asian is...
The other Asian. Are you sure you want to put it that way? Considering what you look like.
That is true. But I mean, it's interesting how it's also very consolidated. Like, it's a very small... You only had a few things on your list, I think.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like a laundry list of different things with like small percentages going everywhere. Like in the dog world, I am a mutt.
Aw.
It's like I can see these bigger qualities, but there's all these tiny little things in there scattered about.
I was gonna say that explains why you are the way you are.
I wonder if there's anyone who has like 100% one thing. Is that even possible? I doubt it.
Natives, I guess.
True.
If you go back, like a certain,
Yeah, back in the... Yeah. I guess that would have to be.
or like Eskimos, maybe.
You can't use that word anymore.
Oh, can I not? I'm sorry.
No, that's a bad one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's Inuit now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know the reasoning behind that, but even a band had to change their name because of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the whole how we called Native Americans Indians.
Yeah.
There's it's that negative connotation that has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where that comes from.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Inuits then.
The more you know. Get a little star go across the screen. But yeah, so that's cool. We got an update on that. Now we know what you're
Yeah.
made of.
We did, yes.
What have you been up to?
I just came back from a business trip. We went to Vancouver. And holy shit, that so we took a road trip. I was getting to know them, and like clearly like the guy who's taking us, and then I went with a coworker. Like we all got along, but there was another person or like two other people who were there, and I'm like, I don't know how to like gauge what their sense of humor is. And so I was just mainly talking to like the rep and my coworker. And basically it was pretty chaotic, like from the very beginning. I would love to like take a road trip like this again.
So there's 5 of you there going then, right?
There was 5 of us in one car and then 5 in another car going from like the same company who's like representing us. And then like we're just all like engineers who were like invited to go on this trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's 5, now 10 people who went up to Canada, or there's...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there's that many.
I didn't know there was going to be that many either. I thought it was just going to be us 5 because that's what the email had, or like that's what he was emailing us. So I just didn't know. So
Right.
we started off like going to get coffee, and even then I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to like try to be upbeat. I'm going to try to like try here.
Wait, did you get a coffee?
I did. Yeah, that was a bad idea.
A very bad idea, because you and I are both doing a thing where we're not doing any coffee this year. Well, we're trying not to do coffee this year.
Trying to, yeah.
I think I've only failed like 2 or 3 times.
Which 2 weeks ago we had like an employee, or not employee, but like a tenant appreciation thing that our building did for us.
Oh yeah.
I had I would say probably like 6 ounces of espresso or coffee or whatever that was. I forget what I got. I was like jittery the entire day.
Oh, I believe it.
To the point where like, I had to like stand and like walk around and like just basically tire myself out just to be able to work.
For those of you who don't know, back when I met Kaneez, our very first conversation we've ever had, I asked you if you drank coffee because I was going to show you how the coffee machine worked. It was one of those things like every new employee, for some reason, I was the one to teach people to work the coffee machine.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, do you drink coffee? You said, no, don't drink any of that. Cut to, 8 months later, you're drinking coffee.
This is your fault. I blame you. You corrupted me.
And then it got to the point where like we were so busy at work, you were drinking then 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. So you went from like 0 to 3 cups within the same year.
I do remember that, yeah. There was a time where I had 3 cups of coffee and I was basically on the floor the entire day.
I specifically remember that. I can't remember what we did that day, but I think we went out on like a company lunch or something. I feel like you got coffee or something. And I remember when we got back into the office, I'm trying to work and all I hear is giggling over the cube wall because we sat across from each other. And you're over there like just giggling to yourself about nothing because you were so hyped up on caffeine.
It was to the point where like I found every single ridiculous email, or like when I'm scrolling my phone, like I found everything so funny and I don't know why.
Not even that. You were legitimately looking at nothing and just giggling to yourself because...
How do you know that?
Because I went over to see if something was wrong.
Oh.
And same thing, you couldn't stop jittering. You stood up and you had to go for walks because you're like, there's too much energy going on right now.
Yeah, I need to tire myself out.
So going all year pretty much with no coffee, and now you getting a coffee for this road trip. I can only imagine that from when we work together, now in a car in a confined space.
Oh yeah, and especially with now that I know that everybody has the same sense of humor as me, like that car ride was just so loud to the point where like I was like, I should have bought some like Excedrin or something just because like I have a headache from laughing so much.
Oh really? Frank was like, if I keep laughing right now, I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah, we basically like the whole car ride up there was just us listening to music, and we found out pretty quickly we have the same tastes in music.
Oh, nice.
So it was just pretty much like a nostalgic like throwback karaoke for us the entire car ride there. Going up there, like it was just, and you told me in the morning too, like there was traffic.
Yes.
We didn't hit anything.
What?
Yeah, we didn't hit anything.
Oh my god, that was the most hellish morning.
You were scaring me that day.
Dude, from my perspective, it was... Wait, what was that day? I forget already.
Thursday.
No, I just forget what was... Because there was one day in the week where there was like a 6-car wreck, but I don't think it was that time. So,
It could have been. No, it wasn't.
No, I think what happened was, for some reason, they had the genius idea to... There's a sign that says 4 lanes going down to 1. Like, the left 3 lanes are closed.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to funnel 3 lanes of traffic into 1 lane, and it was such a nightmare. I don't know what they did in that time period then, because if it was all cleared up within 2 hours by the time you got up there, what were they doing to bring everyone down to 1 lane?
I have no clue.
We live in a state where I would say maybe every single day there's about 5 wrecks, minimum.
Where you live, yes.
Even on the interstate.
I barely hit it.
What do you mean?
So I live where... for some reason, there's no accidents.
No. For some reason, yeah, your area is safe. I just mean in general in this state.
Oh, yeah.
On the interstate.
As you go south, it's always within the downtown area. Yeah. And then as you go north, it's up where Everett Marysville is.
Yep.
And it's like just those 2 areas there. It's like notorious for having something going on.
Whenever I had to drive like far south for work when I first moved out here, I legitimately, this isn't even a joke, every single morning drive down, there's about 2 rear endings. On the way back up, there's about 1 or 2 rare endings. And I'm like, insurance companies have to love this state because they are making out so much from all the terrible drivers.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you missed the traffic, so...
Pretty much, yeah. So, like, we kept on taking, like, small breaks for, like, the bathroom and, like, food and whatnot. When I got coffee, I had like, I don't know why, I didn't get food along with it because I had nothing for breakfast. So basically, I was just starting.
Mistake number one.
Pretty much, yeah. And the rep who was taking us pretty much was raving about how he has barefoot shoes. And I'm like, what even are those?
It sounded like you just said the rapoo. I'm like, what the fuck is a rapoo?
The rep who was taking us.
No, I think.
Did you put two and two together?
I thought you were naming like, yeah, I was like, is this a new like type of person or something? I don't know what that is. So yeah, barefoot shoes. Like, is those the toe ones?
I don't know. But he was like, he's a runner, I guess, because he like really loves running. He pretty much started like saying like how he got these shoes, and then he's like going to like this podiatrist, and they made him like test all these things out, and I'm like, go off about your shoes, I guess. We're all like, do you wear socks? And he's like, nope. I'm like, he's like, you don't need them because they have like, it's more like ventilation in them. I'm like, okay, cool. Have fun with your shoes, I guess.
Yes, I just sent you an image.
I don't think those are it. No.
I mean, those are classified as barefoot shoes.
Like barefoot running shoes?
Yeah.
I guess. Sure. Why not? Okay.
Honestly, I've always wanted one of those.
Ew, why?
For those who don't know, it's the shoes that literally have toes built into them.
Yeah. I had kids in high school who would like wear them and just no.
I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why, but I would always see them as like, ooh, I kind of want those.
But like during the whole ride up there, he'd had to like, because we kept on getting on and off, and he always had to like jump out of the driver's seat to come carry us, or not carry, but like lock us or
Carrie.
He'd always have to like help us with the seats just because we couldn't figure it out.
So he's like the dad.
Pretty much, yeah. And he's not even like, he was, I think, 4 years older than me. Oh, that's one of the other thing too. We were all like talking about that, and we were like, we have the perfect song for you. Or like somebody else said that. And we're all like, oh, okay, cool. What is it? And she's like, it's called Daddy. I'm like, I started cracking up because I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
I fit there's such a huge difference between dad and daddy, and you guys took it into the weird territory with that one.
We started joking about that, and I knew like what he was like. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with who I am. You can just say whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. We started like going off on that.
Mistake there.
Hey, he's our sales rep. We can say whatever we want. And he has to deal with it because we're his customers.
You have to make us happy.
So he wants to keep the sales.
Keep us happy. That's like a rich kid or something. Like, you need to do what I say. Don't make me tell dad.
So yeah, like he had to like keep jumping out just to like help us with the seats. And he was like, yeah, I feel like at the end you guys will get it, but at that point it'll be useless. I'm like, pretty much.
Yeah, by the time you get it and understand it, you're going to be back home and done with the trip.
Yeah. Okay, so then we were at the border, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try making this joke and see how it lands.
Oh, no.
So I was like...
Hold on. Why would you... Please don't tell me you thought I'm going to make a joke to Border Patrol.
No.
Oh, I thought I'm like, Kaneez, what are you doing? You are being very risky.
We all had to let it out because there were so many drug jokes. There were so many crack jokes. So I'm like, you guys, if we get held up, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm brown and they don't like that.
My skin color has a reputation with having me pulled off to the side, so I am sorry.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's one thing I'm like always, it's kind of sad, man, I feel bad about is every time you fly, you always tell me about how you get pulled for, what is it, like secondary search or something?
Yeah, selective screening.
Yeah. I just always feel bad. I'm like, come on. Just because she's brown doesn't mean she's bad.
Have you seen that innocent face?
She's barely 5 foot. She's not going to do much harm.
So we got past and was like, okay, cool. We got like coffee and like snacks and whatnot, not knowing like...
Wait, you got more coffee?
I didn't know.
Oh my God.
I wasn't going to subject myself to death right before a trip. But we got to like the hotel and everything, got situated. They took us on this cruise, like around the harbor, which is really nice. But I felt like I had to like sit down or like stand or do something just because I feel like I was going to fall over. And I don't know why.
I honestly, you told me about the cruise, and my first thought was, I hope they give her a life jacket because I can see you going over the edge.
She would fall over.
That tracks for you 100%.
Yeah. Well, we got situated. We got to the hotel, went to the cruise. I think shortly after they like let us go to like explore the island and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just like, I took my coworker and we just like ran off to do our own thing. And we were quickly doing that because that shop that she wanted to go to closes in like a half hour.
What shop? Like, is it a bakery or something?
No, it's like a I don't know how to explain it, but it's more like you get like like trinkets and whatnot, I guess.
Oh, okay. And it only exists in Vancouver.
She said it's her favorite shop when she goes to Vancouver.
Oh.
And so she was like, if we're going to this island, then that place is there. It's a small island, so we could just quickly run around and get it.
That's true.
So I was like, you know what? I'll join you. I have nothing else to get. Like, I don't need to be here. I don't need anything.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'll just check this shop out with you. We started booking it out of the van to the point where like our rep was like, don't get into strange cars, don't accept candy from people, don't look both ways, just be mindful of strangers. And we're like, okay, Dad, thank you.
I feel like that's great. Like, yeah, you need to be told that.
I'm surprised he didn't put us on the leash.
Yeah, here's a tracking device. Please wear this at all times so we can see where you're going.
There's a balloon on your wrist.
It's like little turtles walking around like, where's the balloon? Oh, there they are.
But we got done early, so we met up at the restaurant. And we were just waiting there for like a good 15, 20 minutes, waiting for our reps to show up. Because we were like in a group already. So we were waiting for our reps, and they showed up finally. Sat down to eat, and holy hell, okay, first of all, I want to preface it with this. Our rep has no filter.
Oh, boy. Which is dangerous around you.
No filter. Like, he was just engaging in like the most hilarious conversation with our waiter. And like there was one other like really nerdy kid who came with us, and our rep took it upon himself to like bring him out of his shell. And so he was like, yeah, he's under 21, you have to card him. Be careful of him, he has drugs. I was like, oh shit.
How did you guys not get arrested on this trip?
He's white.
I mean, just in general, it's like, so we got these people who just crossed the border, and now they keep making these jokes about drugs.
Hey, we're in Canada. Anything goes. It's not America.
Isn't Vancouver the place that, did they legalize every drug or something?
I think so, yeah.
Did you witness anything about that?
Not really. I mean, it was less than what downtown Seattle looked like for sure. Like, there were people who were like tweaking and whatnot.
Right.
But it's not as much as what you would find in downtown Seattle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But then again, it's because of their healthcare system as well, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you find somebody tweaking, then obviously you just rush them to the hospital. It's going to cost you basically nothing.
Pretty much.
But yeah, like at the end of that whole dinner, like our waiter came up to us and he was like, you guys, you're my favorite group this day. Like, you guys just made my entire day. I'm going to be leaving here so happy tonight. I'm like, aw, yay.
We did something.
But, okay, so that whole car ride or the shuttle ride from the cruise to the restaurant, we were like, okay, you guys, we are in Canada. We cannot listen to anything but Canadian music. So who has some artists? And of course, like Celine Dion and Justin Bieber came up. Me and this one other guy was like, play Alexis on Fire.
There you go. I was instantly trying to think of like what bands are from up there.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, so then they're like, no, you guys, we have the perfect song for you to welcome you into Canada. Did you know there's a Canadian version of Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus?
What? Is it by Miley Cyrus?
No, it's by some other guy, but there is a Canadian version of Party in the USA.
Is it Party in Canada?
It's Party in Canada, eh? I will find it. I will link it to you. I don't want to play it just because I don't want to get striked on copyright.
Oh, yeah, we can't afford that.
I will find it. Here, actually, 1 second. Okay, so it's called Party in Canada, and it's on YouTube. It's by OGR Scintilla. And please, everybody listening to this podcast, please go on YouTube and look it up because we were dying. Like, we were on the floor of the car for that whole car ride there, and we were just like getting hyped up.
Now, is this like a Weird Al type song, or
No.
so it's not like trying to be a parody? It's just a straight up song that's like, oh, we're gonna do this, but with our country.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. There's also another song called Out for a Rip by Shark Tank. And that's another like absolutely hilarious song that we listened to on the car ride there.
Nice. I'll have to look this up. Also, I only know Shark Tank from the show. That's
Yeah, no, when that person said Shark Tank, I'm like, wait, the show? And they're like, no, it's like a group. I go, okay, cool.
a bunch of 1%ers rapping.
So that like basically was our entire first day there. When we got back to the hotel, we realized one thing. And I don't know if this is like a good thing or a bad thing. So I had to like make a note of it.
Oh.
What does it mean when a hotel doesn't have a 13th floor?
Oh yeah, most don't.
Why?
It's superstitious.
That's okay, yeah, that's what I figured, but it's like, why would because Sheraton is a international hotel chain, hotel group. For you to be suspicious or like superstitious?
Yeah, I don't really know the whole history of it, but yeah, it's like 13th floor is bad luck or something. So they have a 14th floor, but it's like when you're on the 14th floor, you know what floor you're on. Like
pretty much, yeah.
I don't think they have a 13th floor of nothing. The 14th floor is the 13th floor.
Yeah. It's just, I took a picture of it because I was like, that's the first time I'm seeing this. That's just super funny.
You know, now that you bring that up, I wonder if I've ever been into a hotel and just never noticed that there's no 13. Because it's not something you really look for.
I don't think I've ever been to a hotel that really went up to the 20th floor. I don't think.
That too. I'm trying to think of when the last time I was even in a big hotel like that in general was.
Yeah.
Because typically, like, if I'm at a hotel or something, it's just like one of those smaller ones that only have like maybe 3 or 4 floors.
Or like maximum 8 or 9 floors.
Yeah. They're more long than they are tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for that whole, like, throughout the whole car ride, there was this one girl was like, you guys, we need to stop by like 7-Eleven or some like candy shop and like get all the flavored Kit Kats and like see what kinds they have here and do a taste test tonight. And do like a wine tasting. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, just go find some. And she's, like, by the end of the night, as we were going home from that island, she had like a big bag of stuff. I'm like, oh, we're doing this tonight? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So we all like got changed, like got settled into our hotel rooms. We met in the lobby in like the bar area. And we're like, okay, you guys, let's or like we laid it all out. And it was just like dark chocolate and like hazelnut and like white chocolate caramel, like all these different flavored Kit Kats.
That sounds delicious.
They were all right. I didn't really like the texture of them.
Oh.
The one I really did like, though, was called Coffee Crisp, and it's basically a coffee flavored wafer bar.
That sounds really good.
It was amazing. I loved it.
I've noticed like anything coffee flavored is just always delicious.
Yeah, I think so too.
The coffee Oreos
are
so good.
Isn't that one like called Java Chip or whatever?
Something along those lines.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why, but just that like hint of coffee on a snack or something is always so good.
But like doing this at like 10:30 at night, having a sugar rush.
Oh, that's true.
I'm like, you guys, I need to like limit myself on how much I'm eating. We all just took turns of like picking which ones we wanted. It was just basically just a roulette of picking candy and testing them.
That's good. I've always wanted to do that, like going to Japan or something. They have those really cool flavors.
Yeah, I brought that up of like H Mart has them.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
We have one really close by to us. We should go to that.
H Mart has them. Like different like Asian grocery stores have them. Like I remember back in 2018, I know there was like a matcha flavored Kit Kat. I'm like, ooh, and it's pretty good. I liked it.
So you like matcha?
Not matcha like in drink form.
Oh, okay.
But matcha flavoring is pretty good.
Because whenever I worked at Starbucks, we had a matcha latte or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
I liked it.
I was indifferent on it. I'm just like, I don't know if I like this, but I don't think I do.
I basically perfected how much of like each powder and flavoring and whatnot to put in there. Because it's like a mix of like the matcha flavoring and like vanilla or whatever.
Oh, okay. So you were pretty much like going into there like pretty much with the list like, here's the exact thing I need for my drink.
Pretty much. I mean, it wasn't a huge list, but it was like,
Oh, okay.
it got to the point, because I used to work across the street for months, so I'd always like go there because their coffee was better, obviously, than our office was.
Yeah.
It got to the point where like the guy who was working there memorized what my order was.
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, okay, I like that.
I've never got to experience that of going somewhere and they just recognize me because I've been there too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always went to my brother. We had an ice cream shop in this very tiny town that we lived in, and my brother always stopped by every time, got a banana milkshake, and
oh, okay, no, finish your story. Sidetrack.
so he got his banana milkshake. It got to the point where he didn't even get to park his car yet, and the people saw his car pulling into the thing, and they already had a banana milkshake sitting on the counter.
Aww.
It got to the point where sometimes he even got it for free because they're like, "Oh yeah, you're always in here. Just take it. You're good today."
Oh,
Like, I want that. Give me that.
Where's mine? But do you know that Chick-fil-A is bringing back their banana pudding milkshake?
I didn't even know that's a thing.
I didn't either, but I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I want to go try it.
A banana pudding. I'm just trying to figure out what the texture of that is.
I'm guessing it's just more the flavoring, and then it's a regular milkshake.
Yeah, but what is banana pudding but just banana flavoring?
True. I don't know.
The texture, I don't know. I wonder if the texture is a little bit more different.
Heavier, I guess.
Maybe.
Huh.
I would love to have the original banana back.
The original banana.
Yeah, like the quote unquote fake banana flavoring.
The original fruit.
Yeah.
I remember us talking about this way back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. So like when you get like a banana popsicle or something,
Mm-hmm.
it's very distinct and different from the bananas we know.
Yes.
Because it was an old breed that died off due to like an infection or something.
Yes.
I want that back. I want that. I want to experience that original flavor banana.
I mean, if we try, we can definitely try to breed that back.
I think there is actually a place that does sell them
Oh,
here in the United States too, somewhere.
road trip. Let's go.
But I think it's like $100 and some, maybe even like $200 for just a bushel
Bunch.
thing. Yeah, a bunch of bananas.
A
I couldn't think of what the word would be. A bushel.
bunch. Yeah, no. If you have $100, I have $100. Let's go.
Is that worth it though?
Yes. So yeah, that was pretty much day one. Day two was just all pretty much training and like learning about the company and like doing like a factory tour and whatnot.
The boring day.
Yeah, but they got us food, so that was fine.
So you didn't have any like problems getting past the border?
No, really, no. Surprisingly.
I always heard that like Canadian Border Patrol is always the meanest because they have to be mean.
I always had different, like when I was going, this was years ago before COVID and whatnot, but every time I would go up, it'd be the easiest. Coming back down into America was always the hardest because they're like, they'd see us and they'd see like a brown family. They're like, okay, well, open your trunk, go through your bags. We're going to go through your bags and see like what you all is being brought in. And I'm like,
Wow.
hey. So I made that joke too of like, hey guys, if they search our bags, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry in advance.
Our rep would just go, no, it's not your fault. It's the other guy who brought drugs.
Yeah, whenever I went up to Canada once to visit my friend, I specifically went to a female Canadian Border Patrol lady because I'm like, first of all, Canadians, nice. That's awesome. And then the female, she's going to be nicer than the guys. She was like the Terminator, just stone cold. I was like, I might be arrested for no reason because I don't know. I'm nervous now. Meanwhile, the two guy Border Patrol people are joking and laughing behind me. I'm like, I screwed up. I should have went with them because they seem more chill.
So like, okay, moving on to after we were done with that whole thing, we had some time left and it got to the point where like, as he was like showing us some stuff like on the computer, we'd see like his ads on the side, and clearly because ads are like basically a reflection of what you've searched on Google.
Yes. Oh no.
It had like all these like political ads and like t-shirt ads of like the most obscure things. And so we were talking about like, hey, why are your ads like this? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. Because they were showing like American politics, and we're like, okay, well, clearly you're in Canada, so like, why?
Yeah.
And so we got to that talking point of like, to the point where he was like, you guys want a Canadian civics lesson? We were like, oh, yes, teach us. We're bored.
Wait, Canadian what?
Civics lesson.
What does that even mean?
Government, law.
Oh.
He was basically teaching us how the Canadian government works.
Riveting.
It was no, trust me, it was. Because he was like, yeah, so once Trudeau got into being a prime minister, there was a lot of like back and forth with this one other guy, to the point where they fought so much that they're like, you guys, let's take this into a boxing ring.
Really?
So, yeah, there's a video of this, of Justin Trudeau fighting some other member of parliament in a boxing ring.
That we need to bring that here.
That's what we were saying. We were like, can you imagine Trump or Biden like just going at it?
That would be the most paid for event in history. To watch that.
We were all just, after that, we just made the joke of like, you guys, whenever there's an argument, we know how to settle it now. We learn. Let's bring this back into America.
Yeah, that's just going back to like the gladiator days. Just put people into an arena, have them fight it out, and we'll determine things that way.
Pretty much, yeah.
I would love to see like Trump and Biden fighting it out. Is like you place the bets. Is like on the what's the name of the betting site for sports? But you'd have a bet for like how many rounds until someone breaks their wrist, how many rounds until a hip goes out.
We're placing bets now.
Yeah, bets are closed. Fight has started. You just put an image of this fight. The way, is that Trudeau in the red?
Yes.
The way it's like he's posing for a magazine shoot or something. Like, it doesn't look like he's actually throwing a fight. He's just like nicely posed, like, aha, I got you with my fist.
Oh, these two fought like two 8-year-old boys on the playground. Like, it was just not even hard punches. It was just soft blows and like cat scratching and like just absolutely hilarious to see political people fighting like this.
Another thing I'm noticing too is I'm loving how the political people have these very visible like tribal tattoos and stuff like that. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, so the guy in blue, he is Native Canadian.
Oh, okay. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
We really need like I think we're about to that point where tattoos are now less stigmatized.
Accepting. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Like now we're getting more politicians with like, what was that one guy? Oh, I remember seeing, he's from some country. I don't even want to say a country that I'm thinking because it's probably going to be too wrong, but he has like the tattoo underneath his nose and like around his mouth, but it's like a very, it's like an authentic thing. Like it's a culture thing for them.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is, but like he got into like government too with that.
Nice.
And it's just like, it's nice that we're moving away from, oh, if you have tattoos, it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once we were all done, we were like, okay, you guys, let's go back. We need to make some good time on this. Got to the border pretty quickly because the factory was like pretty much along the border. And so our rep had the genius idea, because we were in two cars. Like the one rep took his group and our rep took our group home. And they're apparently really good friends. And so our rep had the genius idea of blasting, like max volume blasting Barbie Girl at the border. It was hilarious. I loved it. We played the entire song. We're just all like going.
Out of all the songs, I was not expecting that one.
We're trying to like instigate the car in front of us, like the other group, to like join in.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not going to, because no, we're the attention-seeking car.
They were the calm group. I would think like Darude's Sandstorm would be the good song to go to. The car's just shaking in the lane as people are dancing around.
We're just like, hey guys, what if we're at the gate, like at the border, and they're like, were you the car that was blasting Barbie Girl?
A good song that you should have did was like, I'm proud to be an American. Guys, this will convince them. If we blast this song, we're good.
And the second we got past all that, I was like, thank you guys for being normal. Because we all like had the second we got to that board, like the gate, we were just like, Hi, yes. We're here for a professional business trip.
We are civil humans. We are good.
I'm pretty sure the Canadians were like, yeah, go back to your country. We don't want you here anymore.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was a pretty fun trip. I liked it. Definitely joining that group again.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that there was no jail time that came out of it.
Yeah, really.
And you didn't fall off the boat, so that's a positive all around.
I didn't. I came back alive. How are you feeling, by the way? You had a cough for
a month?
ever at this point.
It's getting better. I mean, I still do have the cough, but clearly I can make it through sentences fully now, multiple sentences without coughing, so that's definitely a plus sign. I can't. I'm not like 100%.
You'll get there.
But no, I'm jealous of your Canadian trip. I would love to go back up there sometime.
Maybe you can. Just take some days off.
Well, yeah, the thing is like Vancouver is like 3 hours, right? 3.5 hours.
Not even now. It's like 2 hours. It's closer than Portland.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, we spent more time going down to Portland than it would take me to get up to Vancouver.
Pretty much, yeah.
I always heard it's like a very nice area, and
it is.
Is it like the old-timey buildings?
In certain areas, yeah. But then if you go to Victoria, those are more like Old English, like very European type architecture.
Nice. That's how it is in Philadelphia too.
Oh, okay.
I was over there once for a show, and yeah, a lot. There's like you go down this one road, and just all the homes are just that old style architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And like, did we just go through a time portal? Because like everything is old here.
So, news update.
Uh-oh.
And we've talked about this. I want to say a while. I can't even put a number to it, but we did talk about it a while back. The Seattle Hellcat driver.
Oh, there's more going on with that?
He finally got arrested.
What could he possibly have done to...
They finally caught him for like evading all these like fines.
So what was the thing? They just couldn't figure out where he was living to get him?
I have no clue, but apparently like the court issued a $25,000 warrant for his failure to appear in court after a separate domestic violence case against his mom.
Ooh, okay, so he's really stacking this up.
Pretty much. And then like with harassment of like former girlfriends and whatnot, like I guess the city finally had enough. But then they also saw that he had all these other outstanding like fees or like fines to like pay that he never did.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, yeah, you know what? You're going to jail. Or like, finally.
Good. I mean, you can only push that line so far before...
Mm-hmm.
Like, he easily could have just paid up and been done and they would have let it go.
Right.
But he just had to keep going. And the classic fuck around and find out.
Well, isn't it the consequences of my own actions?
Yeah, that too. But speaking of, did you see this article about the driverless cars in San Francisco?
No.
Oh, man. The time I saw it, whenever I read the article, I immediately thought of the Belltown Hellcat. So... apparently, there's this parking lot of self-driving cars, and every single morning they try to leave the parking lot to go about their routes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not smart enough to leave, so they're like trying to back up, and they just keep honking at each other, and it's driving the people of San Francisco crazy that these self-driving cars are just nonstop honking at each other, stuck in their own parking lot. It's like, here's the future, guys. Here's what we're dealing with.
Welcome.
So now they're so angry. I'm like, would you rather take the self-driving cars yelling at each other or the Belltown Hellcat?
Wait, is that a question for me?
Yeah. No, it's for the other person on this podcast.
Fuck you. I feel like it'd be the two self-driving cars.
You would rather take the self-driving cars?
I can just take a baseball bat to it.
That's true.
Then again, I can also take a baseball bat to the Hellcat driver.
Yeah, my thinking is like you can arrest the Hellcat driver. You can't arrest a self-driving car.
I mean, you can kill it, is my thinking.
That is, yeah, you can just tow them all, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that jail for a self-driving car? But then they're in the junk or the tow yard and they're still honking at each other trying to get out of the tow yard. That could be a Pixar movie.
Cars 4. Ooh, I feel like that's where like that whole series is headed.
Just self-driving cars.
Lightning McQueen versus a self-driving car.
And there you go. Like technology is moving and they're like, we need to stop it because for some reason it turns evil.
Pretty much.
That's funny.
How long do you have to be dead for to get life insurance?
What? Out of right field. Holy hell. What are you trying to plan?
I'm sorry. I have to do this thing. I have to get new insurance for the next year at work. And then that question was posed in our desk group that I'm just like, I'm thinking a lot more about this. And I don't know.
This is audio now. Like if this goes out, you now foiled your plans.
No, because it's like, can you legally be dead for like 2 hours for your life insurance policy to go through and then get revived? At which point do they take it back?
I mean, one, you're saying that insurance works that fast. For sure that insurance does not work immediately.
I know,
they will
but it's
take
like
their damn time.
You're legally dead.
They're gonna like, you would have to like technically be dead, get the death certificate, but if you wake up, then just go into hiding until the money comes in.
Probably. What would you do?
And then you'd have to change your identity. I would change my identity and be someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to like do everything I can to get my life insurance policy cashed in for myself.
Yeah, that would be so complicated. Like, where would you go? How would you? You'd have to know people to get your identity changed, like under the radar. I always think about that. Like, what if I happen to find just randomly, I stumbled into like a briefcase full of really rare diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ashamed to say I've fantasized about this scenario a lot.
You fantasized. Wow.
Like,
calm yourself there.
Is it imagined? And my first thought always goes to, who do I take these diamonds to? Like, you have to know people. Yeah. And then who do you take it to?
I will flee the country.
There you go. I know there's people, I think they're called like fencers or something, or fences. And those are the middle people between you and like the mob people.
Huh.
I think. But I'm like, okay, well then how do you even find that person? Because do you have to know someone to know? You can't just ask around. Like, I can't go outside, start asking like, hey, do you know anyone who would be willing to buy these diamonds under the radar?
Psst.
Psst. I have these diamonds.
Rare diamonds.
Do you know someone? Huh?
Just stay on the corner.
That's why it always like blows my mind that the whole organized crime thing works, because how do you get people to know
people? Yeah,
I would never know where to start with that.
Yeah, we're too innocent, I guess. Normal.
Yeah. I know I keep saying this on like every episode now. I would love to see a movie about that where like a guy has something that he needs to get rid of under the radar, and the entire movie is just him trying to figure out how to go about selling it. That would be so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But with the whole life insurance thing, it's so funny you brought that up. I just read something about how there was a case where a lady had, I want to say, a heart attack and was dead, and they put her in the casket and they were having her funeral. And
she popped up. I read that too. I saw that.
Yeah. 2 days later, she wakes up as she's being buried. Freaks everyone out. They take her to the hospital and she dies 12 minutes later after getting to the hospital again.
Yeah.
Well, how the fuck does that happen?
You want the scientific answer?
Short form, yes.
Muscle spasms, I guess.
To be a heart attack and kill you? Oh, you mean to kick you back in?
Well, like, your body keeps moving you after, like, you're dead. Like, technically dead.
Right.
So it's probably just, like, muscle spasms from your brain, like, going, like, what is going on? We're in death mode now.
Death. Death mode activated.
So it's just like the final like receptors from your brain to your muscles, like
But to wake up,
doing that. I guess it was just strong enough
I guess.
to do that. Okay, I guess the question is, did she say anything in that time?
I want to say she screamed. If I'm remembering right, I think she screamed. But like 2 days of no oxygen, your brain is done at that point. It's very confusing.
It should be dead, yeah. Unless it was just like the between death and being alive, like your brain wasn't fully dead at that point.
And just like really shallow breathing.
Pretty much, I guess.
Because it was in like a different country too, so they didn't embalm her. So therefore, I can assume that she maybe could have been alive barely.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What is embalming?
Embalming? That is... I'm going off on a guess here, and I'm probably going to be so wrong. Isn't that where they take out all your organs and fill you with chemicals to keep your body...
I don't know.
I think that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's just, oh, you're dead. You're going underground. Bye-bye.
Okay, yeah. They like...
That's how we do it.
remove everything, and they like tidy you up and clean you up and...
But yeah. They wash you and everything, and then they wrap you up, and then just dump you in the ground.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much how we do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the for some reason they take out organs and pump you full of chemicals and drain your blood and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. There's like a thing a while back of like they found out that this one not like a funeral place, they were stealing the bones out of the bodies and replacing them with PVC pipe.
I feel like I saw that. They were replacing it with something.
Yeah, I think they were trying to sell the bones or something. I'm like,
why?
What is your game plan here? Where's your profit? What are you trying to do?
No, out of everything, you could have sold bones.
Yeah, I can see the organs.
Yeah.
Which again, you would need to know someone to tie it all back to what we were just talking about.
Dark web.
Dark web, yeah. Even then, with the dark web, you need to know where to go.
Do you not?
Do you? That's concerning.
I mean, from the videos I've seen, you get a computer that can't be traced back to you, and you download not like a operating system, but like a different version of an operating system that can access the dark web.
Well, you just need Tor.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, which anyone can get. You can go to like I think it's like Tor.com and you can download Tor right now.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. But
BuzzFeed did a video on how to do it.
Here's how to sell things on the black market. And then the upbeat music in the background.
The upbeat BuzzFeed music.
And like the title's jumping on the screen. All right, step 1. It's like they're going and then it's like it cuts to like FBI busting down their door and like...
They went like full technical on it too.
That's ridiculous to be showing people. From my understanding, it's like very specific. Like it's not like Google where you can just go to like blackmarket.com.
No. It's like different databases, I think.
Yeah, it's like very specific addresses you need to go to, and it's just a bunch of series of letters and numbers, I think. And how would you ever find it on your own? I don't think you could. You'd have to know where to go and how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People who do crime,
let us know. Let us know.
Hey, you want to be a guest on the podcast? Teach us your ways. Not that we need to know exactly why, but we do kind of want to know.
We're just interested. Could you imagine if we got like a mob boss or something on the show?
Oh, I'd be terrified to do that episode.
Hello, sir.
We do one thing wrong, and it's like, oh no, we got to run now.
Kill him.
Hey, then we turn Intersint into the podcast on the road.
Yeah.
Every week we're in a new state. You don't know where we're at. We're not going to tell you because we're being hunted.
And our names are not our names anymore.
Yeah.
We are person 1 and person 2.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, well, that's been a fun episode. Got to hear about your little vacation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's most of the episode.
A good half, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, glad you made it back safe.
I'm glad I didn't get arrested.
Yes. After the things you've just mentioned on this podcast, I'm really glad.
And that's not even like, that's a good chunk of it. There was a lot more things that happened where we're just like, how are we still free people right now?
Free people? You and the Rapu.
All right, take us out.
Yeah, that's going to do us. Oh, wow. Just screwed up right immediately. That's going to do it for us for this week. If you liked everything, go check out all of our socials, do all the social stuff. Follow every one of our accounts.
Get it right.
Follow everything at Intersint Pod. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We have a link tree that has.
Whoa.
I'm going all over the place. This is the end of the show. Tune in next week when we talk about more stuff that's possibly random, but we might be on track for new stuff. And okay, bye.
Bye. What?